Hello, good evening. I am Lian Bon, and this is a Rappler Recap, an advancer actually of sorts for the 10 a.m. Senate continuation of the Senate hearing tomorrow. I'm Lian. I cover justice and I also cover the Commission on Audit, and other anti corruption agencies like the Office of the Ombudsman and the Anti-Graft Court, Sandigan Bayan. So tomorrow is going to be the continuation of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing on the DOH audit, and it extended to the audit of the DBM Procurement Service. So itong recap na to is parang advancer para bukas sa pagsisimula ulit ng panibagong investigasyon ng Senado. So it all started with an annual audit report of the DOH. Ang annual audit report or AAR ay pinapublish ng COA every year. So, COA, it's a constitutional commission. It audits around 60,000 government offices at every year ay pinapublish nila yung mga annual audit report nila sa lahat ng ahensyang ito. It publishes its report at the end of every fiscal year. So yung mga pinapublish nila ngayon ay in-audit nung 2020, which was the peak of the pandemic. So ang audit report nila for 2020 of the DOH, they found that 67 billion worth of pandemic funds of the Department of Health was deficiently used and led to missed opportunities that they said could have saved thousands of lives in the COVID-19 pandemic. So usually, itong mga annual audit reports na to, hindi naman to masyadong pinapansin. Year in and year out, we report on these audit reports, which basically has the same findings, yung mga unutilized funds, undocumented transactions. But parang depende sa season or depende siguro sa public sentiment ng mga tao kung ano yung talagang magte-trigger sa kanila. The last time that there was this much howl about an audit report was, if you remember, yung contract ng Department of Tourism with Ben Tulfo's Bitag, which was a potential conflict of interest because the Secretary of Tourism back then was Juan Dateo, was the sister of Ben Tulfo. Ngayon, pandemic kasi, we're operating in the context of the pandemic. So yung unutilized funds, we have 11 billion worth of unutilized funds that should have covered the hazard pay of many frontliners, and 3.4 billion worth of foreign aid that was also unutilized, which should have covered medical equipment like X-ray and ventilators. It was unutilized, and while that would have been a regular finding sana, because we're in a pandemic, parang mas nagalit yung mga tao kasi naghahanap sila na yung mga frontliner, 'di ba? Magte-threaten na silang mag-resign kasi hindi daw nila nakukuha yung kanilang hazard pay. Pero nakita nila sa audit report na meron naman palang pera, unutilized lang, unobligated lang. And then at the House of Representatives and also at the Senate, ang unang-una nilang tinignan is yung hazard pay, yung special risk allowance ng mga frontliners, because even though merong unobligated na 11 billion ang DOH, they did say and they provided a breakdown of the special risk allowance na binabana nila sa mga regional unit at sa mga DOH accredited hospitals. Pero at the same time, the health workers unions and association are saying that in truth and in fact, wala silang natatanggap. So that's question number 1 sa mga investigasyon ng Kamara at ng Senado. Kailangan nilang i-reconcile yung records because while DOH is saying nag-release na sila ng budget, some health workers are saying they never got the allowance. So kapag ni-reconcile nila yung records at nakitang may nirelease sa hospital na to at yung mga frontliner ng hospital na to ay nagsasabing hindi nila nakuha, then according to the words of Senator Richard Gordon, then that's fraud and that's corruption. But they should also look at whether yung mga frontliners na nagsasabing hindi sila nakakuha, are they in the first place eligible to get the special risk allowance? Because up until this point, yung SRA, eligible ka lang doon if you are directly treating COVID-19 patients. So baka may mga nagki-claim na disqualified nung hospital nila. But in the hearings, both the House and the Senate, the DOH, Health Secretary Francisco Duque and COA Chairman Michael Aguinaldo have agreed to talk to each other and coordinate para ma-liberalize yung definition of what a frontliner is. So pwede yan yung mga kung janitor ka at naglinis ka or naglabas ka ng basura from a COVID-19 ward, then para sa mga senador dapat makakatanggap ka ng special risk allowance. So yan na yung mga issues na kailangang i-fix ng DOH at ng COA, and that's question number 2. Question number 3 is, ano ba sa mga na-flag ng COA raises the most red flags or parang pinaka-bothersome? Well, it depends on who you ask, because siguro if you ask others, the most bothersome would be the unobligated funds, kasi nasa pandemic nga tayo, people are dying, yet bakit hinayaan mong hindi ka gumastos ng perang nasa iyo naman? But if you ask others, baka least bothersome sa kanilang unobligated funds, because unobligated funds means nandyan yung pera, hindi mo lang ginamit. So the money is secure. We still have it. Baka ang most bothersome sa iba is yung procurement, yung mga na-flag na procurement at yung mga na-flag na cash allowances, because that means lumabas na yung pera, nagastos mo na at hindi mo alam kung nasa napunta, because as auditor said, because of the lack of documentation and legal authority, they cannot be sure whether the transaction was valid, whether it was regular, or whether it was at all legal. So yun din yung yun yung question number 3, gustong malaman ni Senator Richard Gordon kung bakit nag-disburse ang DOH ng 539 million worth of allowances na walang supporting documents. Bakit sila naglabas ng 275 million worth of meal allowances, gift certificates, groceries, accommodation, and transportation? The auditors are saying the standards by which these were disbursed, hindi siya akma sa guidelines ng Bayanihan Law. Kune-question din ni Senator Gordon na parang bakit GC, bakit gift certificate? Did you give them gift certificate at the coffee shop? Bakit ganun yung meal allowance? The DOH was trying to explain the last hearing na baka kanya-kanya na lang diskarte na yan ng mga provincial directors. So instead of give them meal na nasisira, na nabubulok, bibigyan na lang ng gift certificate or voucher in a restaurant or in a fast food. That's one explanation. So that's question number 3. Question number 4, which is what the Senate is zeroing in, presumably until tomorrow, is yung 42 billion fund transfer. So sa 42 billion na yon, 41 billion or bulk of it was transferred to the DBM Procurement Service. 600 million was transferred to the PITC, and the rest were transferred to LGUs. The DBM Procurement Service and the PITC are procuring entities of the government. Bale, kung hindi kaya ng isang ahensya na mag-procure para sa ahensya nila, bibigay na lang nila yung pera sa PITC or sa DBM-PS para sila yung magpro-procure para dun sa ahensya. So let's focus on the DBM-PS. So the DBM-PS acts like it has a virtual store for common use supplies and equipment, or CSEs. Para siyang shopping mall. Kumbaga, for example, I'm an agency, I'm the DOH, and I need coupon bonds, printers, cartridges, ball pens. Instead of procure it, instead na magpa-bidding ako every time I need those CSEs, I'll just go to DBM-PS. I'll just buy from them kasi nabili na nila, nabid na nila. So okay na yun, I'll just buy from them. The other mode is, if I want to procure something, for example, in this case, the DOH wanted to procure PPEs, it was explained that because maraming ginagawa yung DOH at that time, they would rather just outsource their procurement to the DBM-PS. So binigay nila yung 41 billion to the DBM-PS. But according to the auditors, may mali dun sa pagbigay ng pera because there was no memorandum of agreement, walang MOA. Sinasabi ng DBM at ng DBM-PS at ng DOH ang mga senador na hindi naman kailangan ng MOA. But if you read the IRR of the procurement law, it says that if ang i-outsource mong procurement walang competence or walang parang hindi yun expertise nung ipag-procure mo, dapat meron kayong memorandum of agreement kasi the DOH is supposed to have the expertise on what PPEs it should buy, ano dapat yung grade ng mga face mask it should buy. So it should have had a MOA. That's according to COA. So that's question number 4. do they or do they not need a MOA for that kind of transfer? Question number 5, which was already raised at the House of Representatives, is it time to look at the DBM-PS? Because ang nangyayari daw, according to the senators, also according to COA Chairman Mike Aguinaldo, parang nagiging parking of funds yung DBM-PS kasi 'di ba nga kung every year na lang ifa-flag ka ng COA kasi hindi mo kayang mag-obligate ng funds, ang gagawin mo na lang ibibigay mo na lang sa DBM-PS. And past audit reports have shown that for years nakatenga lang dun yung pera kasi hindi naman na-deliver yung mga pinapabili nila. So sabi ni Senator Frank Drilon, maybe it's time to looking at the DBM-PS and the PITC needs serious consideration and needs looking at. And tinanong din sa House na parang bakit yung PS yung pinapabili nyo ng vaccine, ganun. So that's question number 5. Is it time to look at the DBM-PS? Kasi isa pa ang conflict na nakita nila, nasa inyo yung pera, nasa DBM yung pera, tas kayo din yung gagastos, kayo rin yung bibili. So some lawmakers are seeing conflict in that. That's question number 5. And question number 6, which is the biggest question, is yung 41 billion pesos ba na binigay ng DOH sa DBM-PS, is it the same fund na ginamit ng DBM-PS para bumili ng mamahaling face mask and face shields? In 2020, under now resigned Undersecretary Lloyd Christopher Lau, the DBM-PS bought face masks as high as 27 pesos per piece and face shields as expensive as 120 pesos per piece. The COA calls it high-priced. The senators call it overpriced because they made the comparison. According to Red Cross Chairman Senator Richard Gordon, sila daw, bumili din naman sila nung mataas pa yung presyohan ng mga face mask and face shields. Nakabili naman daw sila ng 30 pesos worth of face shield and 5 pesos worth of face mask. So why couldn't the DBM-PS have bought at the same low prices? At the talk to the nation, at the last talk to the nation of President Duterte, he brought out Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez, who said that ganun talaga yung suggested retail price nung mga panahon na yun, ganun talaga kamahal. But Senator Amy Marcos asked last hearing na di ba kapag bumibili in bulk ang government, it's supposed to be entitled to a discount kasi wholesale kang bibili. So that's question number 6. Bakit hindi nagkaroon ng wholesale price ang DBM-PS? Question number 7 is that bakit China made yung mga binili? Senator Risa, that was confirmed actually by the DBM-OIC na puro galing sa China yung binili nung time na yon. And Senator Risa Ontiveros has asked, meron na bang mga local manufacturer who needed jobs and who could manufacture grade A and quality ng mga face mask and face shields? Bakit binigay yung kontrata sa mga supplier na i-export din naman from China ang face masks and face shields? And we na-flag yung mga companies like Pharmaly Pharmaceutical, na sinabi na parang bago lang daw yung incorporator and they didn't really have expertise in medical equipment. That was according to the last Senate hearing. So that's question number 7. And we are expected to see Undersecretary Lloyd Christopher Lau to the Senate, at the Senate tomorrow, because he has been summoned by the Blue Ribbon Committee. So that's question number 9, kung a-appear ba siya. We have written in the past that Yusek Lau, before he was at the DBM-PS, he was at the HLURB muna. Pero bago yun, nung unang-una pa, the start of the Duterte administration, he was working as an undersecretary for Senator Bongo at the Palace. And Senator Go has denied ties to Yusek Lau, and he said that Yusek Lau did not directly report to him, but it's in public record that Yusek Lau used to work for the Presidential Management Staff Office of the Special Assistant to the President, which was Senator Go's office sa Malacanang dati. And my fellow reporter, Pierre Renada, has spoken to Yusek Lau before, justifying an action made by the office of Senator Bongo. So government records will bear that detail out. So that's it. I think I enumerated 8 questions. Tune in to Rappler tomorrow for our continuing coverage on this DOH DBM-PS audit controversy. We will begin live streaming at 10 a.m. for the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee investigation. Maraming salamat. Again, I'm Lian Buan, Rappler's Justice Reporter and also covering the Commission on Audit. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.